Bell rolls is the reporter thrown into the secretive world of the Forex Super Model, where nothing is as it seems. Beware the techno monk, and steer clear of Professor Code and his two assistants. Give the senior trader a wide berth, and don't expect any sense from the risk manager.
Good morning, I'm Professor Code. This is the Forex Super Model daily briefing for Monday the 8th of November 2021. Time is 20 past 4 GMT, Asian session coming to close, European session firing up, our lunchtime North American session. Right, Friday then the 5th of November, the last full trading day, we had a positive unopposed driver in the yen at plus 116. No backdoor flows, the opposing negative flows coming out the pound at minus 62, out the dollar at minus 49, and the euro was the negative rock at minus 5, activity plus or minus 116. Last week then for reference, we had a negative unopposed driver in the pound at minus 615, no backdoor flows, the opposing positive flows mainly going into the yen at plus 443, into the dollar at plus 114, and the euro at plus 58 was the positive rock, activity plus or minus 615. So over last week then we had the pound negatively driving as the unopposed negative driver, driving positive flows basically into the yen and next into the dollar, with the euro being pretty set. And on Friday we had the yen taking over really in terms of strength. So we had a peak out on the yen plus 116, and the pound was thinking about being at its weakest there. And then intraday, then this is the Asian session to about 15 minutes ago, we got a reversal in those flows. We're starting to see we've got yen weakness is the unopposed negative driver at minus 98, no backdoor flows, the opposing positive flows mainly going into the pound at plus 38, into the euro at plus 33, and the dollar was the positive rock at plus 27, activity plus or minus 98. So you've got this pound weakness all last week. Friday we had yen strength and pound weakness, and we're now seeing a reversal in the Asian session. We've got yen weakness and pound strength. So we'll stop it there and write up the flows. Right, we've written up the flows then. So the euro is strong except against the dollar, the CAD and the New Zealand. The yen is weak across the board. The pound is weak except against the yen. The Swiss is weak except against the yen and the pound. The CAD is strong except against the New Zealand. The AUD is weak except against the pound, the yen and the CAD. New Zealand is strong across the board, and the dollar is strong except against the CAD and New Zealand. So what have we got? We've got yen weakness across the board, and we've got New Zealand strength across the board, and the pound is going back to being weak again. So that's something to bear in mind. Bear in mind that the Asian flows in terms of the majors, the pound was the secondary driver. So the pound is starting to show weakness again. And if you look at the noise, we're starting to see a breakdown in the Brexit trade deal, and that may be having something to do with it. So that's where we are there. What's going to knock it about, or has knocked it about? Well, it's light today, Monday, typical light Monday, so bear that in mind. Tuesday's the Bank of Canada Governor speech, light again. So Monday and Tuesday's light. On Wednesday the 10th, we've got China CPI, German CPI and US CPI. So we've got inflation data coming through Wednesday after 2 light days, and Thursday is American holiday. So that boxes us in, and it's quite an interesting way of doing it as well. China's had a big pump up in exports and a very strong trade balance from their point of view. Obviously, that means that the rest of the world is sucking in their imports, their exports, China's exports, and just a bit of noise from on Tesla. Musk has done some sort of peculiar poll on whether he should sell shares or whatever in Tesla. Now that's probably very dubious in terms of stock exchange rules. But anyway, that's not for us to worry about. But it's going to create volatility in the Nasdaq and the S&P, quite frankly. So anyway, we'll stop it there and write up the asset classes. Right, we've written up the asset classes then. So US dollar index, basically it was very high previously, came back down. It's now been working its way up for quite a few weeks. It's now 0.14 from the high, so it's 14% off the modelled high. So the dollar's strong. Gold yet. Strong dollar, yet gold is coming up. It's 0.38 from the high. It's above half marks. It's about 40% off the high. Oil did this big break. It's still high. It's 0.17 from the high, so it's 17% off the modelled high. So it's still relatively strong and did a big break. Wall Street, S&P Tech, they've all got the same look. They did a big break of about nearly 20% from the resistance, and they've come back just a little bit, but they're at or near their highs. Wall Street 17% above the modelled resistance, S&P 18%, 0.18, and the tech is 0.19, 19% above the model. So they're pretty much lockstep. US 10-year in the bund, they had this big pump down in price, so rising yields. Then we've had this bounce. US 10-year is 0.43 from the floor, so it's bounced below half marks, but the bund is above half marks, 0.33 from the high. So there's a bit of divergence now showing. So US yields are significantly relatively stronger than the bund yields, which will have an effect on euro dollar assets. Right, copper. Copper's been chopping about. It's now below half marks. It's 0.42 from the floor. US steel, pretty much the opposite, 0.42 from the high. So US steel is staying above half marks. Right, we'll get rid of that and then we'll do the final analysis. So as we said, we've got this light day, couple of days. Then we've got inflation data. And then we've got an American holiday. So that is very interesting in terms of the way they're going to play the markets this week. So we've got dollar, euro, yen, pound, CAD, AUD, NZD, Swiss. Right, the dollar's pretty high. You've got a yield differential as well in its favour. Equity's pretty high, and the yen's been pumped off the back of a falling pound, and the pound's just seen a slight reversal in the Asian session. So in the majors generally, the key factors are going to be, what is the pound doing? At the moment, the pound initially was coming back in the Asian session. Now it's rolling over again. So we think there might be more pound selling. So if there's more pound selling, you're going to get a continuation in these flows. You're going to get a continuation in yen strength. So if the pound sells, you're going to get this sort of situation. You're going to get the yen on the up, the dollar on the up, the pound driving negatively, and the euro on the negative. Now, that's the positioning if the pound starts to sell off. And equities, they've been rattled by this Musk like poll, if you like, which is like just a ludicrous way of going about things. But anyway, it obviously had a reason behind it, which is not necessarily a good one. Anyway, so if you look at equities, now if equities are sort of a neutral to down, then that's going to reinforce these sorts of flows. If equities start screaming up again, then and the pound starts coming off, then you're going to get the yen taking a massive dive because it's very pumped up, and the natural flow position will be pound getting the benefit, yen coming off, and equities coming up. But at the moment, as I say, we've got this pound weakness starting to come back, and you may well see a wobble in equities. In which case you'll get yen strength, dollar strength, and the dollar's looking like it wants to go higher. So our suggestion would be that initially, at least, depending how things pan out, obviously, but initially we're looking at pound weakness again, and yen strength, dollar strength as well, and euro weakness. And euro's got the added issue that their yields are starting to really deteriorate compared to the US 10 years. So arguably the euro is not going to be happy today. So that's where we are. Hope that was useful. Your main thing to watch out is to keep an eye on the pound. Look at your watch list on the pound, and if the pound starts being excessively weak, you know that these flows are going to kick in. We just talked about anyway. Hope that was useful. See you again tomorrow for the daily briefing. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.